This episode of the Justin Robert Young podcast is brought to you by 353 of God's own true believers.
Ugly ain't the half, look at you. Well, you got blue teeth and you only got two teeth, but I kinda like to see you smile. And it appears that over the years you've turned into a big old steaming pile. And she said, yeah, I know I ain't no supermodel. I said, you ain't a hand model, baby, but that's fine. By most people's standards, but you're alright by mine.
That's the motherfucking song that we play when we start the JuRY Show. What show? The JuRY Show. Don't you know? That's why I leave the singing to the Possum Posse and I don't write songs. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Justin Robert Young. It stands for JuRY. I got that wrong. Fuck. Okay, take two. Hello, my name is JuRY. That stands for Justin Robert Young. Nailed it. Welcome back to another episode of the show. Now, what you might be saying is, Justin, didn't you just do a fucking episode like 3 days ago? And the answer to that would be yes, I did. But that was not an episode for right now. No. It was a makeup for one I didn't do last week, which means this is the tight turnaround episode. What does that mean? Well, normally when I'm doing the show here, I got a bunch of shit that's happened in the world, in my life. You know, there's just fertile ground. I'm also doing quite a few shows that rely upon me telling stories from my personal life, including, but not limited to, the Night Attack Show, the JuRY Moore Show, and the Weird Things podcast. So I try to live the most interesting life that I can, and I try to keep my eyes peeled so I can see and look and be aware of things to talk about here on the show. However, there's only so much that can be reaped from the time between when I did the show last and right now. So this is going to be an episode for which I need to beg of your patience, because there might not be a lot here. This might be a lot of me just horse shitting around and having a good time. Let's get some business out of the way. First and foremost, thank you everybody for being patient with me on the Patreon. As you know, we kind of go along with this. I've not been good about putting these things up. Also, be patient with me about the YouTube. I have no idea what the fuck is happening with the YouTube right now. For whatever reason, I upload these massive fucking files, and it gets to 95% processing each time and then stalls out. I don't know what's happening. It's not like there's 1-800 my YouTube shit's fucked, .org that I can go to. Google is famously who gives a fat shit about, consumer help or whatever. So, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to try recording in a different file format. Hopefully, youtube.com/Justin Robert Young will be back up and running with the new episode tonight. So, let's get in to the beginning. One thing that did happen between now and the last time that we talked was Ashley had her bachelorette party, had a bunch of fun folks come in from out of town. Some people from around the world came to hang out with Ashley, and they went and had a real fun time. It was really a great time by any and all account. I didn't go because, not to say, I think it probably would have been okay if I would have went. But it just is a little cheesy, if I go to Ashley's bachelorette party. And she's she was a star there. So, that's fine. I wasn't going to go. Cool beans. I'm going to stay home. And as it turns out, something that Ashley would probably stomach or at least not yell about, but would not be thrilled about, was going on as she was out in San Francisco having this fun night. And that is NXT TakeOver, minor league wrestling. And boy, was I excited because they were doing a big special on Saturday. So I go ahead and talk to my buddy Dills, and I'm like, hey man, why don't you come out? We'll stream a little Hearthstone, and then we'll stream us watching TakeOver. Awesome. Great idea. Here's the problem. And this is something that I have just come to realize. It was only really in my 30s, once I had turned 30, that a very crucial concept became clear to me. And that is, if you have alcohol in your house, it will not evaporate if you just leave it there. Now, a lot of y'all might be saying, Justin, that's ridiculous. Who would think that alcohol would evaporate like that? It's against the laws of motherfucking physics. And you're right. It motherfucking is. However, here's also a fact. By any and all of my actions, I would have no way of knowing that that's not exactly what I believed, because I would drink every fucking drop of alcohol in my house, be it a dorm room, be it an apartment. If I had it, it would be drank. Why? I don't know. It's kind of, I think maybe just the people that I grew up with. Like a lot of people say, people in the military, even after they're out, eat their food really fast. Because you never know when you might have to just snap and fucking leave and go do some shit. Doesn't matter. So it's like if you have food, you're hungry, you're working hard, and you are eating it immediately. That was like me with alcohol. Now, once I turned 30, I tended to have a little bit more patience. You can have a little something of a wine collection. Keep a bunch of bottles on hand. And that affords you a lot of conveniences. You can just always have booze. That's great. A smarter way to live. Also, buying in bulk is a lot cheaper than if you buy piecemeal. It is just a good time. There's probably one person that I would give more credit for that realization in my life than anybody else, and that is my soon-to-be wife, Ashley. Now, it's not like she cracked down on me drinking or anything. If anything, sometimes, we kind of feed each other's bad habits. It is more the fact that I just had somebody else in my life that would, like, if I'm halfway through fucking drinking a bottle of wine by myself out of the bottle, like, they would look at me and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing that? That's stupid. Like, and I would know logically that it is stupid. But normally, if I'm by myself, I tend to not think that things are all that stupid. I tend to just do things because I have a gut instinct to do them. Now, where does this come back? Well, it comes back in that I'm alone last night, hanging with Dills, but, he's not anybody that I would moderate my behavior, or at least when it comes to drinking and having a good time, because we're there to have a good time. So there's this moment last night, we're hanging out, and I'm already pretty drunk. And I just have this decision that I want to go get sparkling wine. Now, I don't know why I needed sparkling wine. I don't know why I needed sparkling wine right then. And again, I'm by myself. And I have a propensity that when I start drinking, I need to drink all of it. And even more than that, this is fucking sparkling wine. You can't just open it and leave it fucking sit there for the next day. It's going to taste like asshole. So what do? I walk down there to the wine store. I enjoy a glass of it there. I take the rest of it home. And then I proceed to drink all of it by myself and fucking run my goddamn Hearthstone ranking into the goddamn attic. Why? Because, again, we have learned that I have a necessity that needs to be in my life, and that is actually Elizabeth Paramore. Because if it is not for her, then I'm just going to be that dude fucking finishing the bottle of rosé at 2 o'clock in the morning and passing out in his clothes. Welcome to the JuRY Show. We have a big old week ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. The Contender, the card game of political debate that is currently kicking all sorts of ass and taking any and all names on Kickstarter, is entering its final week. We are 7 days from ground zero. We are inside the final week mark. This has been an exceptional journey for us. We are currently, as I speak to you, at the following fundraising level: 93,833. We have 1857 backers. Let's go ahead and find out what happened in 1857. Yep, a boat sank. In fact, listen, I'm literally gonna try to find a boat that sank. Anyway, Dred Scott decision was made in 1857. Huh. Fun facts that you learn listening to the JuRY Show. So we're inside. We have 6 days to go. This is gonna be a big fun time, man. And we've got some fun stuff planned. We are going to reveal, of course, we have 2,000 backers. That ups your base deck. And then we're going to just set a final blow up the Death Star number for backers, because we want to get this thing as big as it possibly can. The more people we have that back now, the easier this is. Because there was a weird moment that I had this week, and I think it was after we did the After Things podcast where we were talking about the Contender, and I kind of realized that this is like a job. This is like a business now. And I guess I didn't really appreciate that before, because it was always a project. Projects have ends. They have beginnings, middles, and ends. A business, while it still might ultimately have a beginning, middle, and an end, it is not the end you have in mind, right? The end is when you either cash out or the business fails. And I just it hit me that this is a thing that we need to take control over. We really need to make sure that we're set up well, especially for the next year while political debates are in vogue, and we can figure it out. So over the last week, I was, trying to email wholesale companies. We've been following up on some people who want to cover it. We were in Boing Boing this week, so you can go ahead and check that out. But here's what we're doing. We're going to have a goal for backers that we're going to hope to hit. So we're going to rely on you guys. This is a huge week for getting the word out on the Contender. This is going to be very important for us to see how well we can blow this up. And hopefully we get some good press for it. I'm going to be in Seattle. Hopefully I'm going to be able to set up a nice live stream of the game with a few fun people up there. That will happen. Who's going to be a part of it will remain to be seen, but hopefully we'll be able to set up a cool playthrough of it this week, so keep your eye out for that. Probably going to happen Wednesday. Meg, who is one of the gals of Guts and Glory, who actually have been, she's our partner on this and done fantastic work for it. She's out in New York, going to be handing out buttons in Times Square. Make sure you follow Contender Game on Twitter if you want to know about that. And John's going to be holding down the home for it here in San Francisco, hopefully doing some real fun stuff. Maybe we'll have him go out to game night or something like that and play the game. That would be fun. I haven't discussed any of this with him. I'm literally just calling it in the ring. But it's kind of it's weird wrapping your head around the idea that this is a product, because I found myself kind of making calls and talking to people in a way that I hadn't really since I worked with Andrew. You know, Andrew, back up for a second. I've always, for whatever reason, I found that when you do a million different things, when you keep doing a bunch of random disparate jobs, you'll be amazed at how few random disparate jobs there really are. Like, everything's a bifurcation of some other kind of talent or skill. So you might think that one of the most random fucking things on the planet is to hang out with your buddy and help him sell magic tricks and magic plans on the internet. All right? That sounds like the most random shit on earth. And it fucking was. It was totally foreign. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I learned how to do it. But when you really fucking shake it down and look at it for its fucking X-ray value, it was me dealing with online retail, customer support, and wholesale in a niche audience market. Because that's what magic is. And lo, it came to pass, I found myself trying to hunt down wholesale and retail people in a niche market, although this time it is card games. And so I'm like, holy shit, I'm actually like qualified to have these discussions. I know what average rates are. I know what delivery expectations are. I know what they want. I know what they need. And so now I'm able to make, the pitch for the Contender because I have a good sense of what is expected from them. So don't ever think that whatever you're doing is a waste of time, I guess is my point. Because there's shocking, precious little that is actually a waste of time. In fact, if it is making you happy, it's very often, not something that you should be all that upset about doing. Because it might plug in another way down the road. I mean, of course, if you're hurting somebody, then don't do that. Like, it's not like, it's like Jared from Subway is like, I love fucking underage girls. Ugh. Like, that made him happy, I guess. But that's fucked up. It's fucked. God damn it. Jared, why'd you have to fucking ruin it? Yeah, I'm the best. I love Subway. Fuck you. Like, and everybody fucking thought you were weird beforehand. What's weird about me? I just love Subway and underage girls. Finger guns. That's fucked up. And finger guns are on the list of shit that is terrible about you. Anyway, I'm going back to jail. Why are you happy about that? Hear about this Wiz Khalifa character? Wiz Khalifa was at Los Angeles International Airport today, and he got arrested. Well, he didn't get arrested. He got handcuffed, and he was taken down by the cops and was questioned, and he made a big scene about it and put it up there on his Instagram. Why? Well, okay. I mean, you can go ahead and take a guess why he, a prolific pot smoker, Mr. Khalifa. So was he smoking pot? Were you having a pot party in the airport, Mr. Khalifa? No, wasn't doing that. He's a rapper. The rappers rap about guns a lot. Maybe he had a gun. Maybe he tried to bring a gun into an airport. Was it a gun thing? No. Huh. So it wasn't a knife? No. Okay. Not a knife. How about wire fraud? No. Not wire fraud. Wiz Khalifa got handcuffed by police officers because he was on a hoverboard. Yeah. A hoverboard. Hoverboard. I said with an H. Hoverboard. What the fuck? Okay. Here's what you need to know about this story. Number one, this isn't really a hoverboard. It's kind of like a Segway with where you just like you sort of roll around on it. J.R. Smith was rolling around on one a bunch during the NBA Finals for sports people. But apparently, these things are really hot. People fucking love these little mini Segways that you run around on. Wiz Khalifa is one of them. And apparently it's frowned upon in the Los Angeles International Airport. He was just tooling around, and when the cops busted in and said, "What's that noise?" he said, "Cops, you're just jealous. I'm on a hoverboard." And he wouldn't get off. He fought for his right to party. Like, that dude was fucking in to this hoverboard thing. I can't imagine, like, if a cops came up to me and said, "Justin, get out of your shoes. You can't be running around in those shoes," I'd probably comply. Right? And I don't know, I don't know what that says about me. Wiz Khalifa is probably a better person with more of a spine than I am. But I can't imagine going to bat that hard for a fucking hoverboard. Everyone's saying that it's that it's not a hoverboard, and it's not. He called it a hoverboard. Other people are calling it a hoverboard. You know what the actual name of the product is? The swag board. So apparently, this is an issue where, welcome to 2015, ladies and gentlemen. A high-profile, headlining, touring entertainer looked a police officer in the eye and said, "No, officer, I will not get off my swag board." Swag board. What the fuck is going on? Is this like a new cool thing? Am I just totally, I'm just so out of it, man. I'm just the fucking oldest person ever. Like, this is all passing me by. I mean, April Ness is staying here for Ashley's bachelorette party. She got her Twitch sub button the other night, and so she's thanking everybody that subscribed to her. And like, you know, I'm making Ernest Goes to Fucking Camp references, and no one's getting it. I'm just fucking ancient. Like, I'm just fucking one day, I'm just gonna dissolve into a pile of fucking, like, I was alive during the Reagan administration references. Like, it's just insane. Like, I don't even fuck. I mean, come on. Why is this a thing? The swag board. I mean, I guess it's pretty cool. If somebody bought me a swag board, I'd really like it. I flipped on the swag board. I'm totally into it now. But I just don't. I don't understand the youth of America. What with their Twitch emotes and their swag boards? I don't know. Jeez. All right. I got your emails coming up right here after this. got some pretty good emails. That was one thing that I was very happy about me being a shitbag, lazy asshole, is that I had not cleaned out the inbox. I had not cleaned out my everybody, where people have emailed me. I hadn't cleaned out that in a while, so I got some good stuff. I think it's going to be really awesome. Of course, if you'd like to, email the show. It is justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Again, that is justinrobertyoung@gmail.com. Put jury in the subject line, JURY in the subject line. First one, we have accidental nudity stories coming in. So here's some accidental nudity stories. Accidental nudity stories from young and vulnerable days in junior high. This is from Ken, by the way. I was wearing those baggy skater pants that the kids wore in the late 80s. Again, fucking we're all going to die so soon. Yes, I'm an old man. Either the teacher had a hangover or it was the last day of school or something because we were playing a game called Heads Up, 7-Up in homeroom. The game involved a lot of standing and sitting in those awful plastic chairs that pinch your legs when the seats crack. Anyway, I was in the front of class when I stood up and the seat snagged my pants and underwear and I exposed my tiny pubescent dick to one and all. At the time, it was worse than death. Congrats on the live show. You've rekindled my comedic dreams from back when I used to dabble in college. Also, you're fantastic as an analogy for famous. Spot on. Thank you so much. The phrase tiny pubescent dick is now my new favorite thing on the planet. One more naked story. David writes, I live with my long-term girlfriend, now fiance, and her adult son and his fiance live with us, all right? So keep all this in mind. One night, a couple years ago, the kids left the house to go do something. I don't know what. We stay out of each other's way mostly. We don't get a lot of privacy, so they're gone for a while, and we decide that it's go time for the no-holds-barred stuff. Usually we keep pretty quiet. They do us the same courtesy when they go at it. Everyone's happy. So, commence the fuckery. All is going well until I lose my boner. Stay with me. I don't mind. She's reached her finish line, and I'm pretty dang tired after a long day at work. However, she does not want to leave me hanging. I love this woman. She's a champ. But she wants to step outside for a smoke break first. I'm lying in bed, attempting to ready myself for further activities, when unbeknownst to me, the young ones have returned home and he comes looking for his mother. He walks into the living room or into the room without knocking, and I'm lying there for all to see, dick in hand. He spins on his heel and leaves with grace and speed I had never previously seen, and we've never spoken of it. However, now he does knock on the door before coming in. So many questions here. Your commitment to fucking is admirable. That you look at something that involves an intermission as the same sexual encounter. Not to be, Ned nitpicker, but I would almost say that's two different sexual encounters. One that is NI, negative impacts in terms of a jizz bomb, and then the other one you would hopefully get the job done. But let's set that aside because I have some questions about the size of your dick. First things first, we've all been there. You lose your boner and then you need to get it back. Let's have a conversation about relative dick size from flaccid to erect, because there's a moment when your dick is tiny, right? And then it gets chubby. It goes from supporting actor to leading man. It goes from Paul Giamatti to Thomas Hayden Church. When it's in its tiny phase, when it's Bruce Banner and not the Hulk, when you're trying to get hard again, I can't be alone in this. But you kind of do the needle nose pliers. I'm talking about thumb and two forefingers to kind of do the jacking. Like it's just a surgical thing. There's not a lot of surface area, right? You can't just fucking full hand it. nothing but air. It'd be like fucking Lay's potato chips. There's only a little at the bottom, and then the rest of it is fucking empty. You gotta go fucking little needle nose, like me, like that kind of jerking. And if having your fiance's son walk in on you jerking off is awkward, it's way more awkward if you're doing the fucking needle nose, like beep, 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 like jerk off. Like you're trying to milk a small cat. Like that's the precision that you have to have on your tiny dick. So I'm curious. Just write in and tell me how big your dick was. We have some stories about the internet being banned from work. Brian writes in, I work at a bulk commodity chemical production facility. We have PCs everywhere in the office, and I work in one of the production labs testing samples of process fluids to give an indication to operators how the plant is running. I have a fresh set of samples every 2 hours, around the clock, 7 days a week. We work rotating 12-hour shifts, 4 days on, 4 days off, 4 nights on, 4 nights off. I usually have a total of 5 hours of downtime during my shift. Only people explicitly deemed to have a specific need for the internet have any monitored and net-nannied access at all. The rest of the PCs just have access to our company intranet. Until about 4 years ago, there was no cell tower in our valley at all. Now we have a Verizon tower, so I bring a hotspot to work and put it in the one place that gives LTE access. But that's actually in violation of the company policy, which just reiterated to us last week, and we're not supposed to use any sort of personal communication outside of meal breaks. This is fucking unacceptable labor practices. Like, it's just fucked up. Like, trust your fucking employees. Like, it's ridiculous. Fucking, you're not making anybody more productive by banning them from the internet. If you have an employee that you need to make more productive by that fucking standard, fire them. It is time to be fired. Like, it is barbaric to be, this job is not that fucking interesting. And I'll guarantee you're going to have a happier fucking workforce. It's going to work harder for you if they don't fucking have to, move a goddamn hotspot around so they can just watch some, porn at work or something. And they can be like jerking their tiny dick with their needle nose grip. Liam writes in, I've never been in a relationship or gone out on a date. I feel like a fake human. How does one do the dating relationship thing that people do? I'm not sure if I'm even ready for the commitment, and I'm getting worked up about it because I see couples having a rollicking good time out and about. I have also never been kissed by somebody I liked or kissed anyone I like, and that weighs a lot on my mind. Sorry for the rambling. Really enjoying the show. It gives me something new to think about. And this is an 18-year-old laborer from New Zealand. What? How could this have been done? Liam, come here. Come here, Liam. It's your old pal, Jerbs. First, let me state my qualifications. I've kissed a girl. Yeah, a lot of them. No biggie. Number 2, I've been in a relationship. She's real. All right? Just so you know, you should think that she's not real. She's real. Let's go ahead and get into it. First things first. Obey your thirst. Sprite. All right? Second, you need to get out of your own head, man. Understand that all of this that you're dealing with, the fact that you're writing me, this is all something that you have built up. It will go away the moment you have evidence that reveals what I'm going to tell you. This is fucking so not a big, gigantic deal. But here's the secret. All the same, here's the secret. You are the draw. You are a product. When you are looking in the market of making first impressions, what you have to understand is that you are no different than laundry detergent. Okay? There's Tide, there's Clorox, and then there's unspecified brand that the supermarket sells. And then there's like some shit that comes in like a beaten up box that's kind of leaking a little bit. You and your projection of yourself is determined by how you fucking think of yourself and whether or not you like yourself. You are 18 years old, which means you are at a dawning age of people fucking starting to understand what the fuck they want in life. The first thing that you can do is take pride in yourself, right? If you fucking think, this ain't about whether or not you kissed a girl or not. In fact, what I would do is I would wear that fucking on my sleeve. Because if you hide it and you only tell me on the internet, then it can have weight. It can hurt you. Wear what people might think is weird of you out in front. Use it as your armor. Because if they know it and you control the message, nobody can hurt you with it. All right. So let's say you're fucking feeling good. You're feeling right with the world. Now all of a sudden, all this shit opens up for you. It's like in an RPG. You get to a level, can't figure out what to do. It's a puzzle. Doesn't look like there's a fucking door or anything, right? So you just fucking ram your head against the wall over and 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 over again. Next thing you know, you go on some side quest, you realize some other little thing that you didn't realize before, you pick up some extra key because you're one key short. Next thing you know, you come back to that same problem that used to fucking drive you up a goddamn wall and you solve it like that. Why? Because you got extra context that you had not realized that you were missing that helped you solve your problem. Self-confidence is that key. It's not easy, but it is easy to fake. And that's what I did. When I was a kid, I apparently realized one day all of a sudden, I was in college, somebody said, well, Justin, you're a real self-confident guy. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, Jack? I hate myself. And they were like, well, no, but you're always confident and you state your opinion and you yell and like you tend to dominate a room. But really what I was doing, and I had been doing since I was a kid in high school, was doing this kind of weird parody of somebody with self-confidence. Because I thought it was a joke. I thought me, obviously somebody who hates himself, acting like he has self-confidence is funny. There's an inherent paradox to it that I thought people would find amusing. So people found the shit I said amusing. I thought it was because of that. It wasn't. Apparently, I was just telling funny jokes. And everybody was like, well, Justin's a fucking guy who's kind of like confident to the point of arrogance. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. How did that happen? And then I realized that. Somebody told me that, and I grokked it in fullness. And I was like, whoa. Well, wait, can I go back? Like, I really hate myself. Like, no, dude, you're a guy with self-confidence now. I'm like, well, fuck me. I didn't know that. I didn't ask for this. I wasn't looking for it. And yet there I was. So it is easy to fake, Liam. My advice to you is pretend like you are a parody of somebody with self-confidence. People will respect it, and it will give you a new look on life. And this permeates into everything, especially relationships. So that's my fucking advice to you. Dennis writes in. We're going to keep it serious. As someone who attempts to be respectful, but feels like I'm playing on shifting sand, I had a few questions I want to pose to the JuRY audience, as the JuRY podcast feels like one of the few numbers of safe places left for honest questions. When I was in college, there was a clear distinction between gender and sex, with gender defined as social constructs like dress, behavior, and roles, and sex defined as biological, even through genetics or sexual organs. And because there was a real and important distinction between someone who identified as transgender and transsexual. Lately, I've seen some people call out transsexual as a hateful word, and everything appears to be lumped under transgender. So, with all that prologue, is that the general perception, or have I seen some odd arguments? If it is the new normal, then can we lose the important distinction between people that are interested in living life under their own gender terms and those who feel trapped in a body with a misaligned sex? I'm going to leave that one up to all the awesome fucking people that email in with rad shit all the time. So go ahead and answer that man's questions, JustinRobertYoung at gmail.com. One last a big plug again. TheContender.us is where you need to go. No, stop that. If you want to get these cards, the next time I talk to you, you will have lost your opportunity to do this game. So, like, just to make it dead honest, we're going to sell these base decks after the Kickstarter. Here's what we ain't selling. The 2016 editions, and we're probably not selling the politically incorrect add-ons. And if we do, they're not going to be in the states they are now. They will be different. These are going away. So, if you want to do it, update your pledge, get your pledge in, make sure you are a part of Contender's history. Our Sea to Shining Sea final week of campaigning begins now. Meanwhile, for this podcast, you can find it on Stitcher, iTunes, or some other shit. Email me, JustinRobertYoung@gmail.com. Twitter and Instagram at JustinRYoung, as well as Snapchat, Periscope, and every fucking thing else. Join the conversation at diamondclub.reddit.com. Ladies and gentlemen, should you find yourself on a hoverboard getting slammed by the cops, should you find yourself in a blind drunk rage, should you find yourself blue-balled in New Zealand, no matter your situation, remember that your old pal Justin Robert Young is here for you, saying in a clear and crisp voice,
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.